HDMI switches have become essential accessories even for the most modest of electronics users. With a plethora of gadgets needing to be connected to TVs and computer screens, the market for HDMI switches continues to grow. Today, there are a lot of HDMI switch brands around. Identifying the best products out of the lot requires meticulous investigation and in-depth knowledge of the technicalities surrounding them. After researching the market, we have come up with the top 5 best HDMI switch for gaming from the market. They will do what they are intended for and some more. So without further ado, let's start with the video. And don't forget to check the product link in the description.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
Number 1. Kinivo HDMI Switch 4K HDR. The Kinivo 550 billion HDMI switch is a great solution for those with lots of 4K devices, packing slots for up to 5 inputs. However, there are cheaper options for those who don't need that embarrassment of ports. The ability to connect multiple devices to one display is the biggest draw of an HDMI switch, and the Kinivo 550 billion handles this task reliably. Designed with power users in mind, it supports up to 5 HDMI inputs for a single output. Our reviewer Emily Ramirez tested it for weeks with a Bank HT3554K projector and felt like it was a match made in heaven. The Kinivo does come with some cable management issues. Since all of the ports are lined up along one side, it's hard to organize the cables in a pleasing manner. That said, it's simple and pleasant to use, and it's competitively priced. The Kinivo switch has 5 HDMI input ports, 1 HDMI output, an AC adapter, and a remote. To keep the box as small as possible, only 4 of the inputs are on the back side, 1 input is on the right, and the output is on the left. While the Kinivo 550 billion is slightly unattractive, it's packed with features. It can display 4K at 60 Hz, comes with automatic switching, and supports Dolby Digital encoding. It even has a 2-year warranty. But it doesn't have an HDMI splitter built in, which means you need to use a third-party solution if your sound system is separate from your display. Overall, the Kinivo 550 billion delivers on its promises. It takes about 9 seconds to switch between inputs, which isn't terribly fast, but videos played beautifully. Gaming was a similarly seamless experience, with no noticeable lag between the controller input and the display. Number 2. Zettaguard 4-port HDMI switch. If you want a feature-rich HDMI switcher that's well-built and convenient, the Zettaguard upgraded 4K 60 Hz 4x1 HDMI switcher is a solid choice for your home entertainment setup. If you're looking for a thoughtfully designed HDMI switcher with a premium look and feel, the Zettaguard 4K is worth some consideration. Our reviewer tested it for weeks and thought the 4K content she streamed on her PC looked great, with the HDR coloring really making the videos pop. The Zettaguard 4K could have been our top pick. The picture-in-picture preview mode alone almost had us, but the switcher is held back by having only 4 inputs and no HDMI audio splitter. The included remote has a dedicated PIP button that lets you view all active inputs simultaneously, along with a button for each HDMI input. This Zettaguard switch has 4 inputs and 1 output port, all tucked into the rear of the switch to help keep cables neat and organized. The switcher chassis is unassuming, with a profile of about 0.7 inches and a black/silver aluminum case. It feels sturdy, and has rubber legs to protect the surface under the switch. Unfortunately, it doesn't include an HDMI audio splitter, so you'll have to reroute sound from your source to your audio setup if you want to play your content on dedicated speakers. For video, this switch supports HDMI 2.0, HDCP 2.2, and Dolby True HD standards. The Zettaguard upgraded 4K 60 Hz 4x1 HDMI switcher is a solid entry in the HDMI switcher market. It took about 9 seconds for the switcher to change inputs, putting it right in the middle of the products tested. Video games ran smoothly, with no noticeable latency, thanks to an 18 gigabits per second transfer speed. Number 3. Kinivo Premium 4K HDMI Switch. Kinivo's line of HDMI switchers has some of the most popular on the market, and for good reason. Measuring 4.6 inches long and 2.5 inches tall, it's a breeze to sneak the 550 billion in with your existing components without creating wire clutter. Best of all, there's no need to factor in where to run a power cable, as the switcher itself runs off a lithium-ion battery. Part of Kinivo's Pro Series, the 550 billion features 5 HDMI inputs, each rated for 4K/60 Hz with a data throughput of 18 gigabits per second optimized for premium UHD pass-through. The 550 billion supports HDR and Dolby Vision picture codecs, as well as Dolby Atmos, making it ideal for top-tier 4K Blu-ray players, UHD-capable gaming systems, and just about any other HD component you can throw at it. Input switching is either automatic or manual. For auto switching, performance is based on the connected hardware. Say you want to fire up your Xbox Series X. Once you power the system, the 550 billion will automatically switch to the HDMI input your system is connected to. If you prefer manual switching, you can disable auto sensing and change inputs with the included remote. Some users have reported the switcher being a bit finicky with certain components, although the vast majority report no issues whatsoever. While it's one of the more expensive switchers on our list, you'll be hard-pressed to beat the Kinivo's reliability and audio-video codec support. You're looking for a top-of-the-line switcher with a future-proofed home theater interface. Those who want a premium gateway for their premium A/V gear. Number 4. Philips 4-device HDMI switch. Not every HDMI switch works as perfectly as Philips 4-device HDMI switch does with wide compatibility. A friend suggested that I try this budget HDMI switch for connecting my PS4. Since then, it has worked like a charm for different outputs while giving the TV and DVD transmission without any clutter. The reason why I liked the Philips HDMI switch is its ability to allow 60 Hz compared to the other cheaper alternatives. I have tried mono-price Blackbird, but it only produced 30 Hz at 4K. So, the special transmission rate without any issues is what I like to prefer for the HDMI splitter and switches. It lets you connect multiple devices like DVD, PlayStation, Xbox, TV, cable, and Blu-ray to enable flawless transmission for your favorite programs and games. Besides the connectivity aspects, I have tested the transmission quality. I was astonished to see the results as there was reduced clutter, which is not common for cheap HDMI switches. It lets you take advantage and connect the HDMI at higher resolution and refresh rates. The setup is quick, and the plug-and-play mechanism allowed me to test it for PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Chromecast Ultra. It has bright lights that can cause issues for some users as they are not dimmable. Allowing the lights to dim or having settings turn them off can be better. However, they are not that annoying, especially in ample light. The Philips 4-device HDMI switch is for people who want multiple HDMI devices to connect with a single device. Its simple plug-and-play feature and multiple devices allow its application in multiple scenarios. The 60 Hz 4K transmission with reduced clutter makes it stand out from the competition. Number 5. OREI HD 6026x2 HDMI switch. If you want a best 4K HDMI switcher for gaming without compromising video and audio quality, get this OREI HD 602 switcher/splitter. With its 6 HDMI inputs and 2 HDMI outputs, you can easily switch between 6 input sources and simultaneously transmit up to 4K video resolutions to 2 displays. The design makes it easy to use in lecture halls, conference rooms, gyms, home theater systems, and sports bars. What we like the most about this HDMI switcher is the built-in amplifier to prevent signal loss, which is the most common issue in the majority of the HDMI switchers. Unlike other switchers, the OREI HD 602 delivers a true UHD 4K quality resolution and up to 1080p HD resolutions for smaller displays without signal degradation. In terms of audio quality, the switcher's edit feature makes it easy to get the audio output the same as the source. Plus, the switcher supports Dolby AC3, LPCM, DTS 7.1, Dolby True HD, and DTS HD Master audio options. Like other HDMI switchers, this model also doesn't offer 4K at 120 Hz refresh, which means you have to wait for a bit more unless a new model with 4K at 120 Hz is available in the market. Secondly, the remote control is not good. and in most cases, the buttons fail to work due to their plastic build. Another downside is that the switcher will miss an IR command that we observed in most HDMI switches every once in a while. All in all, the OREI HD602 is our recommended switcher if you want full control over your HDMI video and audio devices without disconnecting either and with zero video/audio quality loss or pixel drop. Though the switcher lacks quality material, it still is the best HDMI splitter you can buy for home, office, gym, and conference halls.